Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy and welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. Got a wonderful show lined up. We're going to go back to Equifest where I'm going to share an interview done by Dr. Chris Blevins of Kansas State University with Greg Darnell, the bit maker. Then we're going to head down to Medicine Lodge, Kansas, where we're going to get a chance to sit down with Kerry Kuhn, the great clinician. And also I did an interview with his dad, Earl Kuhn, at Sagebrush Gallery. You're going to really enjoy that. Then also I'm going to share with you a really neat drawing that we're going to have with Better Horses. With a Martin saddle, we're going to give away a CSI saddle pad, a lot of neat things. We're talking about December of 2018. So go get yourself a cup of coffee and come on back and enjoy Better Horses TV.
You care about your animals and feeding them the best. And that's where Purina's local Kansas City dealers step in, providing you experience, knowledge, service, and advice. Purina feed dealers are people who believe in community involvement and who believe in you. They have a passion for the feed industry and are committed to helping customers unlock the potential of every animal. If you are looking for a trusted source for your animals, look no further than your local Purina feed dealer, your partner in animal care.
Hi, I'm Pastor Frank with Open Range Fellowship, and I've been reading and been very interested anyway in the total fact that Jesus Christ, the groom, is going to come back for the bride. But what I was reading this morning is actually in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2, it says, "For you know very well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night." And actually, in the context of the verse, it's talking about as a thief in the night to those who don't know him. Now, those who know him, we should be watching the signs, and we kind of know that we do know the Lord's going to come back. So don't let the Lord come back like a thief in the night for you. Get into his word. Try to operate in the Spirit, and he'll keep you up to date with what's going on with the signs of the times. So I want to pray about this real quick. Dear Lord, we just thank you that you do have a plan, because sometimes we just don't have an idea of what it is. And we know that you're going to come back for us someday, and we're so happy for that and get new bodies, and that's our hope of resurrection for us. And Lord, we love you and we give you all the honor and praise and glory in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, go out this week and live like you've got purpose. The Lord could come back. And that's how we should live every moment of our lives. So I'll see you next week, and God bless.
Back in the saddle and out on the trail with Ernie the horse guy, now fun will prevail. We'll meet the best horseman under the sun. Tip our hats to the ladies, keep the good Lord number one. Ride along, sing your song. Along with better horses, we're right where we belong. Faith and love from up above. The best of the good life's yet to come.
This segment is brought to you by CSI Saddle Pads.
Hello friends, Ernie the Horse Guy here at Equifest 2018, here with a rock star. We're here with Greg Darnell. Greg, just great to have you here at Equifest. Had a chance, you did a great interview with Dr. Chris Blevins from Kansas State University, and you're having a good time, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I'm having a ball, and I really appreciate the invitation, Ernie. It has been wonderful. And
you're coming back.
If I've behaved as good as Lassie, maybe you'll invite me back next year.
We want you to come back, and I tell you what, so proud to have you here, be a part of it. Let's go to that interview right now.
I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center. Today, joined here by a very important guest here. We have Mr. Greg Darnell. Mr. Darnell is a great gentleman and speaker we're going to have, an educator about bits and how the bit potentially could affect horses. And I think that's where we're going to go with it. Just tell a little bit about your biggest interest that you have as you kind of evolved through bit making and education.
Over the years, Chris, from start to finish on this, my primary goal and interest, not only as a producer but as a horseman as well, is the preservation of a horse's mouth. Obviously, if I do my job correctly and build good, safe mouthpieces and bridle bits, the preservation and the longevity of that horse's mouth stands a better chance. The second part of my endeavor is always to try to educate people about what the conformation and oral cavity, or the inside of a horse's mouth, is like, and the parts of it that are affected by those mouthpieces that we build.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point, as you mentioned, is just the conformation of the horse's mouth. What kind of things, when you start talking about the conformation of the horse's mouth and how a bit could affect that, what are some things that maybe even riders and owners should really be paying attention to when it comes to that and trying to pick a bid and those kind of things?
Obviously, before we ever bid any horse, we want to do a physical inspection.
Yeah.
Whether you're there, Chris, to help and guide, or whether they're doing it on their own, we're primarily we're interested in buckle flap, the interdential space, which is that space between the canine and the premolar. We want to make sure that those those interdential spaces have nice sharp crowns on them and that they haven't been damaged. Always, if a horse has a physical problem, I'm going to rely on you and your expertise to help me with those things. But the physical inspection, if I don't know they're there, I can't ask for your help. Tongue is the other thing that we're going to look at. Has it been cut? Has it been lacerated? What do we need to do to avoid that tongue if it has been?
Yeah.
Palate is one of the third areas, that area that runs from the incisor clear back to the thorax. It's got a hard bone underneath it. If that's been damaged or lacerated, we want to know about those things before we ever get ready to put a bit, which is a foreign object, in their mouth.
And, you know, whenever you're taking and thinking about a bit and you start talking about tongue, like even there's been some horses just doing a general exam that have a lot of scars on their tongue from what I would perceive potentially as being a bit, maybe. Depends on what kind of things they put in the mouth, but...
There are several ways that tongues get lacerated. Usually the owner is going to deny ever having pulled on one, so
Yeah.
obviously you have to read between the lines. Anytime that tongue's been lacerated, as you know, that is a weakened place in that tongue, so obviously in the selection of a mouthpiece, we're going to pick a mouthpiece that doesn't further injure that laceration.
I'm Dr. Chris Blevins with Horsing Around, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Donna. This is Ringo. We're with CSI Saddle Pads. I'd like to invite you to ride our new revolutionary FlexPlate saddle pad. We offer a 30-day money-back, ride it, get it dirty guarantee. And the best part of the pad is it's 100% American-made with American parts by American hands.
Yeah, we're riding these CSI saddle pads. The thing that really sells it for me is they have a flex plate inside them, and that distributes that pressure over the horse rather than putting it all in one spot.
For more information, go to csipads.com.
Hay is not for horses. They deserve Stanley Premium Western Forage. There's no better place in the country to grow forage than Idaho, and Stanley is one of the country's largest producers. From pellets, cubes, and chopped forage in bags to compressed in 3-tie bales, Stanley cultivates the premium forage types horse owners demand. Because your horse needs hay, but he deserves Stanley Premium Western Forage.
The restoration of live horse and greyhound racing in Kansas will generate over 4,000 jobs, nearly $300 million in annual wages, and $23 million in new annual revenue. Reinvigorating racing at the Woodlands and 3 other Kansas tracks also create superior destination entertainment districts in Kansas. The Greater Kansas Racing Alliance is working to restore our horse and greyhound racing industries, putting Kansas in the winner's circle. Visit raceforkansas.com to show your support, and let's race for Kansas.
This segment is brought to you by Heritage Tractor and your John Deere and Featherlight trailer dealer.
Hello and welcome back to Horsing Around. I'm Dr. Chris Blevins at Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center, and joined by a real special guest here, Mr. Greg Darnell, a bit maker and bit educator from Texas. And we were talking a little bit about tongues and those aspects, but probably even more important to that, could you go through a little bit of kind of the evolution of horses or the difference of horses when it comes to their mouth and structure?
Really important thing, Chris, and we'll go back years ago in the 15th, 16th century. We had two basic types of horses, the draft horse, the big-footed horse, and then the Arab type horse that was smaller and more refined. Ironically enough, even today, there was a very consistent element within a horse's mouth, and that was this interdental space. From the 16th century to today, the width or space from side to side on the interdental space has changed very, very insignificantly. However, if we look at the difference between our cold-blooded horses and our Arab types, it's going to be the structure in the mandible and the depth of the mandible, or that space below the tongue, that is the important factor. The width is not going to change that much, other than your colder horses are going to be less sensitive, have more buccal flap, and have usually a bigger or larger tongue. That helps us determine mouthpiece-wise, the more delicate the tongue and the less space it has below that tongue, how we're going to accommodate that to allow them to salivate, move that tongue, and keep the mandible relaxed while we ride them.
Yeah. You know, and I think whenever you start thinking about that too, then whenever you're developing bits, it's that makes the biggest aspect when you're thinking about the horse, I suppose, in trying to fit the horse to certain aspects depending on what's going on. What about like riders? What kind of things do you usually kind of ask on that aspect or to be thinking about for riders?
Great question, Chris. Obviously, no two horses are alike.
Yeah.
Nor are two people alike. So basically, when we talk about horses, we talk about that marriage. Mm-hmm. If you've got a good wife, you're going to be happy. If you have a bad wife, you're not going to be happy. Yeah. The same thing exists with the equine. It is that marriage, and it is a mode of communication. Today, we raise nice horses. We have quality horses. They're smart enough they can be educated. They do not have to be dominated. It is that mode of communication that either allows us to be good horsemen or just horsemen.
I think that is excellent advice and good information when it comes to looking at the aspect of a horse in general. And, you know, and I guess what do you think is maybe one of the biggest, like, pet peeves or things we need to make sure owners really get from trying to pick a bit? Because there's a lot of bits out there.
We have two basic options on this, Chris. We have the professional sector of the market, and then we've got the you and me that work within this industry, and yet we're not making a living training horses. So the optimum thing that you and I need to think about and convey to our customers is that we're not professionals. Yeah. If we are allowed time and consistency, we can create good habits and don't have to be horse trainers to be able to accomplish those same goals or ideals.
You know, and I think that that's something that we always need to remember is that we're professionals and we're always going to learn something, I think, from each other. I've learned a lot from you, and I think that's something that owners need to continue to remember too, is everything will always change and we can always do better.
My most fun part of any talk is the fact everybody thinks they learned something. I always leave learning more than the people that come to listen, and it is a never-ending open book that we deal with.
Well, I sure appreciate you coming and talking here, and we've learned a lot from you. Check him out on his website at gregdarnell.com. Get some great information from there. Talks in different places. He's even going to come to the vet school and talk about bits to the students and to other practitioners, so really appreciate you coming.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Chris.
Yep, thank you.
S4 Quality Shavings knows, just like you, your animals do better after a great night's sleep. And after 23 years in the animal bedding business, we found one size doesn't fit all. And so we made it our mission to fill your needs, whether they be small, medium, or large, flake pine, cedar, or paper bedding. No matter your situation, we're here for you. So if you need a semi-load or just a few bales, go to s4shavings.com. That's S, the number 4, shavings.com. And then everybody will get a great night's sleep.
Hi, I'm Donna. This is Ringo. We're with CSI Saddle Pads. I'd like to invite you to ride our new revolutionary FlexPlate saddle pad. We offer a 30-day money-back, ride it, get it dirty guarantee. And the best part of the pad is it's 100% American-made with American parts by American hands.
I've been using CSI pads for 16 years, and there's a reason behind that. It is a total performance system for me. I just can't say enough about them.
For more information, go to csipads.com.
This segment is brought to you by your independent Purina dealers.
Hello, friends. I'm Ernie, the Horse Guy, and welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. I'm here with my hero, one of my favorite guys here, Kerry Coon. Kerry, we see you on horseback a lot, but never did get a chance to get you off horse and sit and visit with you.
Yeah, this will be a little different for me today.
Welcome to here. We're in your hometown at Medicine Lodge, and so glad to have you on our show. And I'll tell you what, you have just keep taking your show to a higher level. And let's talk about your transition from you were the television to what you're doing right now with KerryCoon.com.
Well, we've been really blessed to be able to do what we do with horses and our training. And we got into this TV idea about 3 years ago, and the first 3 years we were on HRTV, and it was such a strain to be able to continue with the clinics and the training and to make all the dynamics work for the filming for that network that we just made the decision to take everything online.
Except for Better Horses TV with Ernie the Horse Guy, which we're proud to have you on it.
Yeah, that's been great for us. So when we made that transition, it took away the stress of having to meet all these different deadlines, time codes, and all that. And then when you asked us to be a part of your show, it was easy for us to do because we can shoot a short segment for you guys. You guys can throw it in your show, and we can keep our focus on what we're doing with our horses.
What makes us feel good, Kerry, and there's a lot of great horse people all across the country, but consistently, people say, Kerry Coon's one of the best. And let's talk about your passion for the horse. I mean, you've had some different changes. There was times when you rode a lot for the public and things like that. You still ride a lot. Let's talk about taking an inside look at Kerry Coon program. What does your program consist of?
Well, since I was 12 years old, I've been training horses for the public. And for about 20 years there, we were training a lot of outside horses, and we started doing our clinics and traveling. And then it's been about 5 years ago, we made the decision to stop training outside horses. So our focus now with our horses is to build good horses that we're going to potentially sell down the road, but we use those horses for our characters in our show. Because we still want to show people the concept of training a horse, but I don't want people to see what they would see like if you came and watched me at a horse expo somewhere. I'm probably not going to show up on a horse that's had 3 rides. I'm going to bring some finished horse that's going to make me look good.
Right.
But the person sitting in that audience isn't going to have a clue what it took for me to build that horse to that level in his training. So our goal with what we're filming is to just show everybody a day-to-day look at what it looks like when we're training our horses. The days that it works good, the days that it doesn't work good. We don't want to edit anything out.
You get what you see.
Exactly.
And I just tell you, my hat goes off to you on what you're doing, from that standpoint. I'm proud, as clear back in my career with Purina, to see where you've come from there to where you are right now. And, the Kerry Coon that I first met has never changed. I mean, so don't change on us. Keep doing what you're doing. But bringing there and helping people get along with their horses, you could see that, during your whole program.
Well, it's always been a passion of mine to help people truly make a connection with their horse, but try to teach it or portray it in a manner where it's simple and they can understand it. You don't have to flower it up and make it sound like it's rocket science, because it's not. We just need to keep it simple where the horse can understand it, the human can understand it, and they can have fun together.
Well, we look forward to continuing getting these episodes from you on different clips where we can help our viewers become better horsemen and horsewomen. And appreciate you doing that. Don't stop being a part of that, and don't be a stranger to Better Horses TV. Thanks, Kerry.
Thank you, Ernie.
Hi friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy, and I want to talk to you about Better Horses properties. If you have a property you'd like to list and sell, I'm the guy to contact. When it comes to marketing, we're second to none. We've got the publication. We'll promote your place in the publication. We'll promote it on our radio networks. We're going to promote it on TV and our e-blast. Better Horses Network is your direction to go when you're looking to market your horse property. So contact me at Ernie@BetterHorsesRadio.com for your property, and let us go to work for you.
When I hook up my trailer, I don't need any help. I use an easy latch and do it all from the ground. I don't climb in my pickup bed. I don't bang my head or tear my new jeans. With the easy latch, I can lock or unlock the coupler, hook the chains, and load my horse, all from the ground. Once you have tried an easy latch, you will never be without one. Check it out at EasyLatch.com for this and other trailer accessories.
Better Horses with Ernie Rodina is brought to you by your friends at Merck Animal Health.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. I'm here in Medicine Lodge, Kansas, where we took a trip a few weeks ago. And I'm here, as far as I'm concerned, with one of the best Western artists in the industry. And we're here at Sagebrush Western Gallery, here in Medicine Lodge, with Earl Kuhn. Earl, it's a real honor to be able to sit down with you.
Glad to do it, Ernie.
And you can vouch for our viewers out there that I have a bunch of your paintings.
Yeah, you do.
We just love his art. And Earl, what inspired you to get into this? Because you were a teacher first.
I taught school for 10 years, and I've been doing this full time now for like almost 40 years. But I had a love for horses from the time I was a kid. I didn't grow up on a ranch, but I drew horses constantly. And in college, I got involved with the rodeo club, and I did a lot of rodeo things for the college cowboys. Didn't make a whole lot of money, and the art wasn't that good. But anyway, they thought it was. But after that, I got married, and my wife is from Medicine Lodge. Okay, her dad was a rancher, raised horses, paint horses, and that's where I really got familiar with this whole area. He did a lot of day work for different ranches around, and I'd go with them, you know, and when they'd gather cattle, work calves or whatever. That's where a lot of my subject matter came from. And then, in recent years, a lot of my subject matter has derived from my boys, Corey and Kerry.
Right.
You know?
Good cowboys in themselves. It's
Yeah.
great. And the grandkids.
And the grandkids as well. And but I use a lot of the local guys around, you know, and like I say, a lot of the paintings now center around Corey and Kerry and the grandkids.
I think of Earl Kuhn and your gallery and everything and your art, and think of how you get behind like the peace treaty here in town, and just got a tremendous passion for rodeo, this type of stuff, the ranch rodeo. And how great is it to be able to use your sons as far as the subject matter and everything else? It just really brings that painting out that much more.
Well, you know, you're very familiar with them for one, you know. And what's really nice, so if I ever needed something quick, I'll say, hey guys, hop down here, I need to get a photo of this, photo of that, just for reference stuff, you know. But it's nice to have them. And like I say, when it comes to cowboying, they're as good as there are, you know.
Well, and I want to tell our viewers, don't think, well, you might be saying, I got my walls are filled up with paintings. Well, number one is, it might not be filled up with Earl Kuhn paintings, which we want to change that. But the other one is, Earl, is you got all kinds of neat promotional stuff that you sell the corporate world out there with your paintings and stuff on.
Right, I did. You know, I've done several things for different corporations, and we've done prints that they've used for promotional things. One being the Kansas Livestock Association. I did their 100th anniversary print.
Wow.
And I'm working right now with several different corporations on that same order, doing the same type of thing. But anyway, it's a good marketing thing, and it gets my work out to a lot of people.
Well, and this gallery is just really neat. It's a neat place to visit. One of many places in Medicine Lodge that you visit. And I would urge folks to go to your website.
It's Earl Kuhn, www.earlkuhn.com.
Check them out and you get a lot of the things. But, you know, I'm just amazed at what you can do and come up. And I know businesses are always constantly thinking about what can we pass out. And if you can kind of apply an Earl Kuhn print on there, it's got to be pretty exciting.
It is, you know, and like I say, we work with several different corporations, and, you know, it changes from year to year. I'll tell you what, right now, my next project, I'm doing a painting for a kid that used to be a student here at Medicine Lodge High School. Never had him in class, but this is the second painting I've done for him. It's of his dogs.
Wow. I know you see some dogs, and we'll get a chance to see that. But, Earl, I just want to tell you, I want to urge the folks that if they're down around Medicine Lodge, your hours at your gallery are open during the week?
I'm open pretty much every day. I'm down there usually on Saturday. And but if somebody's coming in from out of town, the best way to make sure I'm here is give me a call ahead of time, make sure I am going to be here.
Earl Kuhn, Sagebrush Western Gallery. Glad to be here, and thanks for taking time out to show me stuff. But we love your stuff.
Appreciate it, Ernie.
Thank you.
You betcha.
What do you get when you bring together one of the biggest names in veterinary medicine with one of the most caring and committed teams of horse health experts in the industry? You get a vaccine portfolio known for its quality and safety, a pharmaceutical line you can rely on to help manage pain and support performance. You get the products, programs, and people of Merck Animal Health.
Your buddy Ron once said he could install your ceiling fan. He couldn't. And that one time, Ron said another chili dog was a good idea? Yeah, it wasn't. So when Ron said you'd never afford a John Deere tractor, you knew better. Now, Ron does too. The E-Series, legendary John Deere quality, unexpected low price.
Stop by and see Heritage Tractor at one of its 9 locations for your John Deere and Featherlight trailer needs. HeritageTractor.com.
This segment is brought to you by CSI Saddle Pads.
Hi friends, I'm going to talk to you about the Better Horses Sweepstake, going to be drawn December of 2018. So proud to have as our partner Classic Equine and Martin Saddles, which we're going to be giving away this beautiful Martin saddle in December of 2018, along with other prizes like CSI Saddle Pads, Purina Feeds. So anyway, make sure you sign up, and we're going to have it where you can sign up online, sign up at the Purina events for the Better Horses Sweepstakes, and win this beautiful saddle. I hope you enjoyed our episode today of Better Horses TV. We had a blast doing that. You can go to our website, betterhorses.com, hit our media. You can catch our latest radio show, podcast, and you can also catch our latest TV show that broadcasts. So check it out, betterhorses.com, and we look forward to seeing you next week with Better Horses TV with Ernie the Horse Guy.